so we are all checked in for our tour. We're doing the Bellevue Mine Tour.
Cheers! Guys, I picked the right thing here. Let me show you what we got.
This is basically a mountain that fell apart and destroyed the town beneath it. It was called the town of Frank.
And you can see it's been since 1903 and nothing has grown. It looks like it happened yesterday.
Yeah, it's just surreal walking here.
Well, hello everyone. Good morning, good morning.
Morning, people.
Today we've got the team assembled. We've got my dad, Daniel, Sam in the back, me, hello. And we are going on our first little adventure here in southern Alberta. As you may already know, my parents moved to this province a month ago.
See you later, Southern Ontario.
Yeah, so we have a few adventures planned, and today we're going to be exploring around Crowsnest Pass, and we're going to be visiting a few different communities, going into an old mine, and yeah, just learning a bit more about the history, the mining history of this place.
So come along, we'll have a good day.
Alberta Adventures.
Okay guys, so we are back in the car because today is one of the windiest days we have yet experienced here in southern Alberta. You wouldn't be able to hear us if we were out there.
It's a good thing nobody brought a hat, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I did, but...
Oh,
you did?
Hey.
But yeah, we just finished visiting the famous Burmese tree, which lived to be over 700 years. Like, it's a type of pine. What kind of pine is it? Who remembers? A limber pine.
Limber.
A limber pine. So it's a type of pine that really thrives in this harsh, windy climate that you find here in this region. And yeah, it lived for 7 centuries until finally in the 1970s, the pine needles fell to the ground.
And the tree lost the battle against time.
Lost the battle. It stood dry, like dead, for 2 more decades until the wind toppled it over. But now they've like propped it up again, and there's like anchors holding on to it. No?
This was like a landmark. It was a landmark that it was the entrance, the eastern entrance to the Crowsnest Pass, and this tree marked where it actually the pass begins, right? So that's why it was famous, because it was like a beacon there. Like people would know that when they reach this tree, they reach the past. And we're talking about not yesterday or the day before. We are talking about centuries ago. So in those days there were no street names or markers. What would you say for orientation? Like
like a marker.
It would be
no?
a landmark that everyone would understand.
That's
it.
it.
Like, let's meet on horseback here at the tree.
At the Burmese tree.
At the Burmese tree, and they knew that they were going to go through the pass of the Crowsnest to go into British Columbia. So, okay, today it may look like, okay, it's just a dead tree, but if you go back in time, a few hundred years, it could have been something of real importance back then, So, okay, we go to the next one?
We go to the next one. So there you have it, guys. That was the most photographed tree in Canada, Burmese tree.
Burmese tree. Beautiful history.
Which place?
Go by there?
Over there, yeah. Next stop, we maybe drove 45 seconds. It's the collieries, which we're gonna learn all about. This is a new word for us, a new term. My oh my, we are searching for a little reprieve from the wind so we can tell you a little bit more about this place. But basically, I learned a new word today. So collieries refers to the buildings related with coal mining. And there's a whole bunch of them to visit here. We're actually in a provincial park. And yeah, you've got these historic structures left over from the mining era that you can visit. Also, hardly anyone here. There's only 2 other people walking around exploring the place. So not very well known because we're here in the middle of summer and we've basically got the place to ourselves. Look at that.
Already several people from my village here and had wrote me, "Come, plenty work." So I work. First on tipple, but I want to go underground. That's where a real man works, I say to myself. So I go underground. First I take in horses and we bring out coal. Then take in timbers. I was young. It was good job. And then my friend, Joseph Tez. He was nearly killed when his lamp make explosion. After that I worry. So much coal dust in there. Some nights I could not sleep for coughing. So I join union. Maybe they will help us in there.
So we're learning lots. What have you learned today?
Oh, I've learned tons. So right now we're visiting the manager's house of the Hamilton family. And it's just fascinating. It was a 3-level home. It had hardwood floors. It was fully equipped. Like, it was absolutely spectacular when you look at the photos. And now it's just in ruins. But to think that such a beautiful home is now reduced to rubble like this, it just shows you that even the most fascinating structures of your time may not last into the future.
Yeah, this would have been a very, very nice house for the time. They even had indoor plumbing. That says a lot. 3 fireplaces. So yes, the manager of the coal mine lived very, very well. And today all that remains is basically the outside walls, like 4 walls. That's it. Okay, so here we are, escaping the wind. Once again, a little corner here.
You have to don't look at our hair because today is a crazy hair day. Yeah, here we are in what's left of a coal mine. This was called the colliery. It was a mine that was operational in the mid to late 1800s. It became very active when the railway was finished, you know, the one that goes all the way to British Columbia. So yeah, this is mostly where the immigration from Europe used to come to this area to work in these places, the new immigrants, right, to work in these mines. This one in particular was the only full-owned Canadian mine, owned totally by Canadians. Finally went bankrupt, and it's funny because up there is a sign that it says, if it is broken, we can fix it. And it talks about how they had to solve problems on the place. They could not wait for parts to come from far away. Don't forget, we're talking about the mid 1800s. So if you needed a part to fix a machine, it could have taken a month, if not a year. So they had to do everything here, fix everything, use inventive and genius, and they got it going. And the pictures that you see here around the walls, well, it says it all. It says the whole story of these people that worked here. It's amazing. With such a rudimentary and crude machinery, they could do so much. But the mine really flourished in the late 1800s when the railway was built, finally, to British Columbia through the pass. That railway, you know, to build the section from Calgary to Vancouver, which is about 600 miles, they say that it took 600 lives. 600 people died building that stretch of railway, which was the most difficult to build out of the whole the Canadian Pacific railway line. And in all, to build the whole railway system, it's estimated that about 4,000 people perished in those days. And a lot of the people were coming from China. They brought about 15,000 Chinese, mostly men, to come and work on the tunnels and digging. And, you know, mid-1800s, it was pretty crude technology. So when they were digging the tunnels, the explosions and stuff like that is not what it is today. Safety was not a concern back then. Life was expendable, let's put it that way. So yeah, they built the railway, and finally they were able to export the coal from here to different centers. And well, sadly, with technology and the pass of time, this mine went bankrupt. So this is all we have left today to show, but it was built to take it. You can see these walls, it's all stones and mortar, and it's solid. I mean, it can take a punch, this construction, and the proof is that it's still standing, okay?
So we are now heading to our next stop. We're gonna be driving over to the Bellevue mine for our tour. So Sam, what else did you want to tell us about this park?
Wanted to mention that it has my favorite price point. It's free.
Oh.
And the other really nice thing, it has really nice washroom facilities, so you can go and use the washroom and you can visit at your own pace.
Yes.
There's obviously no tour guides here, so take as long as you want to kind of thoroughly explore the grounds. We did just that. And yeah, it's a really interesting place. Highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up.
Right, so we are all checked in for our tour. We're doing the Bellevue Mine Tour. And in terms of prices, it is $25 for adults, 20 bucks if you're a senior, woo, like my dad. And yeah, it's gonna be, I believe, a 1-hour tour with 45 minutes spent underground in the mine. Okay, let's look for a quieter spot, guys. Hang on, hang on. We're also right by the highway, so. Here we go, in between 2 walls. What else was I gonna tell you? Oh, the temperature when you go into the mine, it's around 0 to 2 degrees. So it is very cold and you have to dress accordingly. We brought winter clothes that we have in the car, so we're gonna get into those now. Pants. Leggings.
What's your shirt?
I have a winter jacket. I keep prepared. I'm not gonna be cold for an hour. That's my worst nightmare. Okay, so we are out of the mine. We finished the tour, so it's time to give you a little update because you can't actually film the tour experience, you know, you have to come here, see it for yourself. Yeah. But we got a few clips of just like what it looks like inside. So first of all, we learned there's over 240 kilometers of tunnels down there. Mm-hmm. It is huge.
Essentially, we go all the way from here to Calgary.
Yes.
Which is far.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a several-hour drive.
And the mine operated from 1903 till 1961.
Yeah.
They removed 17,000 tons of coal, and apparently there is another 70,000 tons waiting out on the ground for maybe one day.
Yeah, they used to supply the railroad.
Yeah, the Canada Pacific.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CP.
And then they switched, obviously, to a different fuel.
They switched to diesel.
Diesel, yeah.
Diesel, and they didn't need any more coal, and the mine just wasn't profitable anymore.
Yeah, the value of coal went down.
Yeah, and it's a type of coal that they call it number 2 grade, so it's not the best of...
Very brittle.
Yeah. So, but it was a good experience. If you have the chance to come and visit, don't miss it, because very well explained.
Yes.
And you can really feel the conditions and how these people used to work down there. You know, you feel sorry for them.
Yeah. The most interesting part for me was they tried to simulate the lack of light you would have had as a coal worker.
Yeah.
And I mean, you basically were in the dark.
No, you couldn't.
Your light could go out, and if that happened, you were expected to just stay where you were until someone discovered you. Not for anyone claustrophobic.
No way.
That's for sure.
No way.
And really cold down there. Like, imagine working there every day and it feels like winter, like 0 degrees, and you're stuck down there for your full shift.
Oh, and before I forget, they had the Clydesdale horses to help pull some of the carts.
Yes.
Yeah.
They could apparently pull up to, what, 6 carts, was it?
Yeah, 3 tons of coal in each cart on rails. Okay, they were on rails. So, but yeah, there was a nice stream running down the side of the mine with I never seen crystal clear water like that ever. It was amazing, no?
Yeah.
It was running really heavy and constantly, and the water was just totally, you know, clear. Like, I mean, it felt like there was nothing running there. You looked and it was hard to see the water, actually, yeah?
Overall, it was a fascinating tour, approximately just under an hour. $20 for seniors and kids, $25 for adults, reasonably priced, and well worth it. I mean, it's our first time to have ever done anything like this, so I think it's highly recommended. Yeah, for sure. It was great.
It's a good piece of adventure.
Yeah, and now I want to show you guys the sculpture of the coal miner right there. And I just realized it has a little bit of black because they were mining for coal.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When we came out of the mine, I looked at it and I was like, oh, it all makes sense.
And right below it, there is a commemorative plaque of the people that died here on a fire, an explosion.
Yeah, there was an explosion.
And
1910.
1910. The strange thing is that you see some names, last names, and they're the same. Like some of them with an older age, like that would be the father, and then the other one a younger age, so that would be a son.
A real tragedy.
Family members perished together.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
yeah. So, yeah, that was it.
That was the tour, and now we're going to take you to lunch.
Yes.
Let's go eat and drink.
Hungry.
Staring at
All right, Sammy boy, time for a beer.
Yeah. Cheers. So they had a few different things on tap. We both decided to go for the Rickards Red. And the best part about it, it's ice cold.
Ice cold beer.
On a summer's day, you can't get better than that. And so we've decided to go for the special burgers. You and your dad ordered that. And basically it's a normal burger, and then it has the addition of pulled pork. And then I got something really interesting called the Frank Slide, which is named after the mountain slide they've had here. And apparently that's gonna have regular fries, onions, sweet potato fries, ribs, and 2 special ingredients at the chef's discretion. So I'm pumped for that. And apparently I was challenged to be able to finish this from the server, so it's gonna be big. We're gonna
Big meal.
hope we brought our appetites.
Big meal for the big boy.
Yeah.
Start digging.
Dig in.
Oh la la. That's good stuff.
Guys, I picked the right thing here. Let me show you what we got. A side of onion rings.
Oh la la.
Look at that. We've got the sweet potato fries, deep fried jalapenos, ribs.
Ooh, try something, try something.
I
Bite
tried
into
this one.
something.
I'm gonna, oh, this is so good. I've got a smoky, peppery taste. Garlicky too. Very garlicky. And then we also have
Don't choke there.
Don't die, don't die.
don't die on this. Deep fried tempura and spring rolls with 5 different sauces.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
You're losing your voice.
I ain't gonna starve over here. But I'm losing my voice.
That's a freaking hamburger. Want it?
It's also nice with the pulled pork sauce too. Very good. Oh yeah, I got a Frank Slide. Got it from both sides.
Breaking off branches like
Look at that.
Alright guys, so it's kind of windy here. I hope you can hear me okay, but we have arrived at our next stop today, which is the Frank Slide. And I'm just gonna show you that because I have it behind my shoulder, over there, right there. But yeah, this is basically a mountain that fell apart and destroyed the town beneath it. It was called the town of Frank. It had about 600 inhabitants, and about 100 of those perished in the accident. Thankfully, the whole town wasn't in the path of the slide, so parts of it were spared. But yeah, now you just have this valley of giant boulders of rock. Like, it's crazy. It kind of looks like a lunar landscape. It looks out of this world. So we have my dad here. We're struggling with the wind.
Yeah,
What a struggle, but this is southern Alberta.
the wind is not helping.
No.
But yeah, the accident happened in 1903, and there are a couple of versions about it. Well, why did it happen? One says that because coal mining was allowed to be exploited in the mountain. There is a seam of coal running through the mountain, and some people said that, and some specialists said that that was a contributing factor of the mountain collapsing. Other people said no, that had nothing to do with it, that it was a matter of you know, like hundreds of years of freezing rain, and the rain getting into the mountain and freezing, and you know, like creating cracks and expanding, and that was a factor why why it happened. They're all debating about it. I guess we'll never know. And you can see it's been since 1903, and the nothing has grown. It looks like it happened yesterday. It is in the same state. Wow, it get windy up here.
It does.
Other than opening the road and the railway track for the train to be able to keep on going, the rest remains like the day that it happened. So very interesting, how a whole mountain like that could collapse. It's amazing.
So aside from the lookout we just showed you, you also have the Frank Interpretive Center, where you can watch a movie about the Frank slide, how that all unfolded, and the stories of the survivors and things like that. But we're not allowed to film the video. So instead, we're gonna show you some of the trails that you can do from this very spot. So this is where we are, right here, super close to the border with BC. Crow's Nest Pass, Frank Slide Interpretive Center.
Are we that close to BC?
We're super close, yeah. And then we've got a trail marker here. There's a whole bunch of trails going off in different directions, and you can enjoy a hike and also get to see the slide from a few different vantage points. So lots to choose from. We're probably only gonna do part of one to give you a feel for it. After that meal, I don't think we'll be able to walk very, very far. I feel like we're in need of a siesta. But yeah, here we are. It feels like what, Sam?
It feels prehistoric.
Oh, prehistoric.
Like a land before time.
Oh.
I'm waiting for the T-Rex to just appear from behind a random rock and kind of bite my head off suddenly.
Oh, my.
Slightly morbid, huh?
You know, the landscape really does look out of this world. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's just surreal walking here. The giant sizes of the rocks and the way they're all scattered. It's obviously really tragic what happened. My honest thoughts are that this area looks prehistoric. Like this looks like something.
It looks like a different planet.
It really does.
Like I've never seen a landscape like this of just rock.
But at the same time, you really feel for what happened to the community.
Yeah.
Woo.
Alright guys, so we are all back in the car. We wrapped up a really fun day of adventuring here in southern Alberta, and this is where we're gonna say goodbye because we're heading home now. We're tired.
Audrey's driving. We had a couple of brews, so we don't drive.
We got the new designated driver here.
Yeah.
Hello.
She only had iced tea.
Iced tea.
So yeah, if you like the video, don't forget to put a like.
Oh.
Subscribe your friends, your family members, and the channel will keep on growing, and there is a lot of more interesting things happening. So
yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you for the promo.
One quick thing to say, this just shows what you can explore in your own backyard. This is our new backyard. We're exploring, and what a fantastic day. So adventure doesn't need to be in a far off corner of the world. It can be nearby your house.
Yes.
So keep that in mind too.
And we have more local trips coming up around Alberta.
For sure.
All summer long we're going to be exploring. So stay tuned and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Hoist up my sails and